There was clear instructions sent to me by the kidnappers. Photos of toes and fingers belonging to George.
Outside his Belfield home around 6 a.m. last Thursday.
What you're looking at is a white SUV pulling up. One suspect gets out, two behind him.
Security cameras from a house across the road capturing the kidnapping, which was then posted to social media by his family, with police quickly becoming aware of it.
Kidnapping Saga Part 1.
Bloodlong murk down for the gang, playing for keeps. Bloodlong real murk for the gang, read them and weep.
There's photos that were sent through from the kidnappers. There was clear instructions sent to me by the kidnappers. If they see any man in my car, if they see any men in other cars following me, if they see any spotters, or even if they see drones within the vicinity, they will cut ties and they will make sure that I receive photos of toes and fingers belonging to George. There is someone close to my heart that I got involved. I'm not gonna talk for her. I'll let her talk for herself. This right here is my beautiful wife, Sweetness. We met in 2007. You were
18.
And I was 22, about to turn 23. I think it was about 2 months later, I got arrested and I ended up getting a sentence of 10 years. And we were just friends at the time. I was 3 months into doing my 10 years, and out of nowhere, I got a letter from her. Do you remember that letter?
Yeah.
Before I got locked up, we were talking casually, but just as friends. There was no flirting at all. We were literally just talking probably once or twice a week and just as friends. But I met you off my brother. What was the site called? Bebo. Yeah, when I got locked up, I didn't think nothing of it because we were just friends that I just met. But then she wrote to me 3 months later because she heard that I got arrested, and you were living in Brisbane at the time, right? Mm-hmm. What area in Brisbane? Logan. Woodridge. Woodridge is like the Mount Druitt of Brisbane, you know. It's like the ghetto area, you know, like gangs and stuff over there, but much more peaceful than Mount Druitt. Mm-hmm. But yeah, to cut a long story short, I told her like I'm doing 10 years and I would call her once a month only, Mm-hmm. And she would write letters and just keep me company. But then our relationship grew from a friendship, obviously, to something more. But she always has this joke where she says it only took you 7 years to say yes to a relationship. But that was because she was young, and obviously she was pretty and she could get any guy she wanted. And I didn't want to be locked up having my missus out there by herself. So I thought, you know what, let's just keep it as friends. That was just my way of allowing her freedom without having me saying, what are you doing, where are you going, you know what I mean? Because that's how it works inside prison, you know. The reason why I chose her to be my wife is because you stuck by me the whole 10 years, you know, as friends. And then when I got out, I obviously wanted to marry her. Her dad didn't want me to marry her. He wanted me to prove that I could stay out of prison for more than 1 year. And I ended up getting locked up within 14 months. Where were you sitting when you found out?
I was at work. Yeah, and you hadn't called me yet. Like, and you always call me when you land and everything. And then that's when, like, you know, I was calling everyone, like the family and stuff, trying to find you. Then I went home early, then I saw you on the news when I got home.
That's right, because your family was there when you were watching it, eh?
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me you were crying when you saw me.
I just burst out in tears. My dad was like shocked.
That's right, because your family was confused that you were crying.
Yeah.
At the news.
Yeah, he didn't know that was you.
Oh no. When I got rearrested, I was set up by the police. They agreed on a deal. Originally, my deal with the police was I wanted to hand in $4 million of proceeds of crime to get an early release for my brother and 3 other boys that got locked up. The police didn't want to deal with the $4 million that I had because it was considered bribery. And so I got a message from my lawyer saying that the police had made it clear if I had guns and drugs that went with that money, then this would be something they would be willing to work with, obviously, because it's not bribery. You're trying to hand in firearms and drugs as well. So what did stupid me do? I went and freaking bought guns and drugs. I stored it. I sent photos of everything to my lawyer to give to the police. The police saw it and straight away they sent a message to my lawyer explaining that they were willing to do a deal. They reneged on a deal. I get arrested along with my brother who had nothing to do with it. That's 2 on 2 heat. I got another 10 years. That's how long I got. Thank God I only served the minimum, which was 7 years. And I've been out for how long now?
Almost about 5.5 months.
Yeah, so I've been out for 5.5 months now. The 7 years that I did, again, she stuck by me. I told her when I went in, I said, you know, it's time for you to go live your life while you're still young, you know. And she wouldn't leave my side. And you all wonder why I gave her the nickname Sweetness. That's who she is, you know. She's been straight 180, loyal, sincere, and reliable. And she's been with me since she was 18 years old, you know, like as friends, and then it grew into a relationship. The day that I got out, the boys picked me up. It was a 6-hour drive, and I didn't go party, nothing. I went straight from the prison, straight to the, what was it called? Barangaroo penthouse, and I married her that night. As soon as my 7 years finished, the first thing I did was marry her. And that was because her dad sent me a message. He gave me his blessing to marry her. For me to sit here and reminisce about this, obviously it shows why our relationship is so strong, and the fact that I put her in a position that night during the kidnapping where both of us could have got harmed. This is something that replays in my head before I go to sleep every night, you know, because I regret the decision. But at the same time, like when I was calling you and explaining everything to you that night, I needed your help. You were quick to rush down, you know, like I don't know what you were thinking that night, but when I told you I needed you to come down and I hadn't been home for 2 days.
Yeah. I know, I just, when you said, when you called you needed me, you just come.
There you go, like that's her, like plain and simple, you know. Like my point is, when you got there, I explained to you the situation where the kidnappers had ordered me to pick up an encrypted mobile phone, and that's the way we were going to liaise in order to negotiate George's freedom. And then I remember saying to you that day, I need you to go in your car and I'm going to catch an Uber. And it does my head in because like I let you go alone and no one could back either of us up because that was the instructions the kidnappers had given us, you know?
Yeah, but it's okay because you always were saying to me throughout that situation, if you see anything suspicious or you're not comfortable, just leave, just go straight away.
Okay.
I don't know, and like I'm comfortable with you, like I trust you, so I just do it.
I trust you wholeheartedly, and obviously you wouldn't be with me if you didn't trust me. But still, like it plays on my mind the fact that I put you in that position. You know, I've just gotten out. You've stuck by me through 17 years of prison, and how do I repay you? I put you in that stupid position. You know what I mean? Like that's why I know I got you back all the way and whatnot. And yeah, of course, when I told you that night, if you see anything, like just take off. You know, but I did have a plan. You know, because I knew where the place was. So at the same time I was trying to take care of you, I was also making sure that our cameraman was okay, you know, because he just flew over from Ireland, and I put him in a position where his life could be at jeopardy as well, you know. And in my head I was like, look, at the end of the day, you just need to document this because it's something that the younger generation need to learn from, which is what I explained to both you and Evan that night. And I don't know if Evan or you remember, but one of the boys was saying to me, bro, just leave the cameras alone, like tell him to stay, like the kidnappers already said no guys allowed, you know. But remember when I was telling Evan, I go, just hide down, you know, like it's all good, you just need to film this, you know. That's why I got like big love for Evan, because he went above and beyond, knowing full well that this is not his world, you know. Like it was something that no one in this world can ever understand, because they are not in this position. When we got there, obviously you went by yourself and I went via Uber. What was playing on your mind? Like in my mind, like I was like, bro, why is my wife like doing this? Like it was doing my head in, you know?
Yeah, like I was nervous. I was more nervous for you than when I saw you. But no, I was okay again. But I was still nervous the whole time.
Yeah.
But I was still ready.
Yeah, I remember when I got there and I jumped in the car and I walked over to you. You obviously looked very relieved, you know.
Yeah, I was.
And then my way of keeping you and Evan safe was to make sure you guys stay in the car. Your car was turned on, and I had told you, like, if anything suspicious comes around, take off straight away, you know.
Yeah.
But the friggin' worst thing about it is, like, we're in the middle of a dark spot, friggin' bush area, and I had to go in there and find this encrypted phone. Like, what the? You know what I mean? Like, that's my thought process at the time. Like, all right, if the kidnappers wanted to right now, right here, they could just come running. All of a sudden, me, you, and Evan were gonna be tied up, and we will be held hostage now, you know. And like, everybody knows what I'm like. Man, I'll fight all day, but at the end of the day, what am I gonna do if these guys are holding guns in my head and holding guns to your head and Evan's head? You know, like, I can't fight them, because if the trigger goes off, like, there's accidents all the time, you know.
Yeah.
It was a big thing, but when I went into the bush, remember when I came out, I seen you relieved, but I didn't find it.
Yeah. Stay there longer.
Yeah, so I know, like, I seen your face, but then I had to freaking obviously go back in. But the instructions that were giving me, I was like, man, you said it was there, but it's not even there. So anyway, like, when I went in the second time, obviously I found it. But do you remember when I came out and I went like this, like, did you think I was telling you to come out of the car?
Yeah, I thought you were doing this.
Maybe because when I seen you react, it seemed like to try to open your door, I was like, kind of like, hey, no, I found it, you know. And I was like trying to point you to like stop, and then I seen you like, oh, okay, and you were trying to put your seatbelt back on.
Yeah.
And that's when I quickly ran around and jumped in the car, you know, to make sure that we head off before anything happens. Like, obviously the kidnappers were itchy, so I didn't want to distress them, and then we end up being targets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, like I've said numerous times, you know, my deepest apologies for like putting you in that position, and obviously I told you I would never ever do that again. It's just that far out, I hadn't had any sleep for 2 days, so I wasn't making the right decisions, you know.
Yeah.
And when we were driving off, and we got to the location where we were all based, like all our team, I put in the code of the phone, and obviously the 3 messages come through. Wow, remember seeing George's photo when he was tied up?
Yeah, that was so sad. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah, 100%. Like, when we went in there and we showed the photo, like, his whole face went red, and he was just like, man, like, I don't care what we have to do, please. He goes, I want my brother back. Like, obviously, because you weren't in the office when we were talking about it, but he was freaking stressed, you know. And you know what? I'm gonna give it to Charlie. Like, I'll give him a lot of love and respect, because you wouldn't think that Charlie is at hand. But did you know what happened when he was going off after he saw the photo?
What?
He turned to me and he goes to me, Pete, I love you, brother. I can't believe that you told your wife to come in and get involved in this, you know. And then now I found out from the boys that you also took your cameraman. Bro, like, please, like, don't jeopardize your families and your friends, like, for me. He goes, if anything has to happen, jeopardize me. Like, he was saying, I don't care, I'm willing to die for my brother. That's what he was saying. Yeah, but what I mean about maintaining composure is the fact that no one would be able to say thank you for anything like that if they're in that type of position. But he actually, like, calmed himself down and then turned around and thanked me for calling you. And then he asked me to please not let you do anything again.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I told you that night to go home. I obviously made you understand now the risk that we took was so unnecessary. But at the same time, I did tell you we were hoping that the police were going to do their job on the first day. But the reason why the police couldn't do their job was because the kidnappers weren't sending any demands to the family. They weren't sending any demands to Charlie and us, and it was because they were sending demands to the friggin' to a different family because they had grabbed George thinking he was someone else.
Yeah.
You remember when I told you that?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. To all of you out there that's living a 9-to-5 life, this is what it comes down to, you know. Cherishing your loved ones and not jeopardizing or risking them for anything, you know. Like, don't ever do what I did, you know. Like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, you know. Imagine if something had happened, how am I going to explain that to my wife's family, you know? And that's the reason why I'm forever grateful for what not only she did, but also my cameraman Evan, you know. It was something because not only did I put my partner in that position, but Evan had a missus who was also waiting for him at home, not understanding what he was going through. You know what I mean? And I think it comes down to this one simple thing. When part 2 comes out, like, you're gonna get every little detail of exactly what happened. The police couldn't do their job for simple reasons. Yeah. The only thing that I was angry at was the fact that this is the era of technology. So how the hell couldn't you follow a car that grabbed someone from in front of their house? There's like cameras on like every second house. You know what I mean? I think when nothing had happened for 2 days, and then I finally got a hold of the guys overseas who knew the kidnappers. Obviously, that's how we organised for the encrypted phone to be dropped off. My parole officer, they were looking to breach my parole so I can get locked back up, because I'm not allowed to be around not only criminals, but I'm also not allowed to liaise with any gangs, you know. And how I explained it to my parole officer is everything was done by an encrypted phone. I never met up with anyone and shook hands and negotiated the George's freedom. This was literally done by encrypted phone, the whole thing, you know? But obviously there's a whole heap more details that you know about, which is not going to be revealed on here at this very moment. But what it is going to be revealed, which is what I'm angry at myself for, is the fact that my wife is pregnant. Would you like to tell everyone what we're going to be having?
We're having a boy.
Yeah. I'm very excited to be a dad. And how long?
5 months.
5 months. You know, so pretty much the day that I got out of prison, I came with a thunder. It's a joke between us because my wife was like, I want to have a baby as soon as you get out, you know. And obviously it was a joke between us because I was like, don't worry, when I get out, I'm gonna come with a thunder, you know. So when we found out that she was pregnant, that's when I started like jumping around. I was like, I knew I came with a thunder. So yeah, that's just a personal joke between me and her. But the reason for us not telling anyone about her pregnancy was because they didn't even know you were pregnant for 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she was feeling pain and all those little symptoms that pregnant women feel, but they kept saying she wasn't pregnant. But you had to take was it blood test?
Yeah, a couple of blood tests, and they finally confirmed.
Yeah, so they confirmed she was pregnant from the blood test, and then obviously we went from there, and I swear it was like the happiest moment of both our lives. Yeah. Because we have both been waiting for this for a long time, you know, and like, I'm very, very grateful. God blessed us with a son. We're gonna have a son. Yeah. So this was the big reveal that we wanted to give everyone around the world. Is the fact that Triggz and Sweetness, you know, are gonna be parents. You know, but again, you know, like what I put my wife through is something that I don't condone. There's a lot of crime going on out there right now, and everyone just needs to calm down and cherish those that they love the most, because I'm telling you, any minute could be your minute. George, he walked out his house that day. He never knew he was going to get kidnapped, you know. His family never knew that he was going to be taken away from them, and that could have been the end of his life. So this is why I tell each and every one of you out there, cherish every moment that you have with those that you love the most. Anyway, my love, it is what it is with Triggz and sweetness. Yeah, boys.